Hello, this is the Great Archmage Quasdell. I'm going to be going through the tutorial of Blender because I have no idea what I'm doing. For those who watched the second live stream, you probably saw that. Ew. Also, I found out why the first stream was too low on volume. I did change the settings, which I'll probably go over at some point, but not today. Okay, I'm gonna go. Let's go learn Blender now. And now we're in Blender. Let's see. Let's go ahead and pop up the manual. Okay, I know you can't see the manual since it's a. Let's see if there's actually a. No, the manual happens to be online. Okay, okay, so that's how you select. Okay, is this how you move? Okay, that's how you move the object itself. Rotation of the object, scaling. Oh, wait, if that's rotation, then. Okay. Okay, transform allows the movement on certain axes. May it be rotational movement or actual object movement. Um, Question is, how do you move the view? Okay, so that's how you move the view. You can use this. I bet there's also a button for it. So far, I've only used the mouse. Yeah, no, I'm gonna need that help window. Um, I'll take a look in the user interface. Go with the introduction. The top bar at the very top consists of the main menu, which is used for saving, importing, and exporting files, configure settings, and rendering, among other functions. So, this section. Then we got areas in the middle, which is the main workspace. Okay, so the main workspace is from here all the way to here. And then we have the status bar at the very bottom, which is the this one down here. Pan option. Oh wait, you can pan with the scroll wheel. I don't have a scroll wheel. Oh, that's how you also rotate the view. Okay. For those who don't have a mouse, instead have the laptop. What do you call it? The mouse pad. Is it a mouse pad? I think it's a mouse pad. No. Touchpad. It's a touchpad. Wow. Well, now we got that. So we have rotate view. We got the options. Set 3D cursor. Not entirely sure what that does. Oh! Holding that have different commands. So we can push cancel. You have the x-axis. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, X is usually delete. Let's not delete it. I am not sure what we can do if we hold down X. It says X-axis. Okay, there we go. Okay, B did something. What did B do? Um, let's see. Let's move that up. Rotate the view. Is there a way to just restart back to where we just had the box in a normal layout? uh, okay. Let's see what we can do. Go back to this. Hmm. Actually, for those who are watching, which doesn't seem for the future, I'll see if I can't add the window. I know I look like it disappeared because layers. Give me a moment. Okay. Let's see if we can't edit this. Okay, so fit to screen. It's hidden right now, but that's because I'm still working on it. There we go. Whoa, 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 whoa. The other one's gone. Where'd the other one go? No, you go back to that. I need Blender. Okay, so you can't have two of the same. Is it because it's named? Okay, let's try it again. Oh, delete this one. Create a new. I know you don't know what I'm doing. In the future, I will show you. Just give me time. Okay. We add a new source. New source. Add source. We do this one. And right now it's on top, so we move it down. Let's do a we're gonna have to change the sizing of Blender here. And change the size of this. see. This is terrible. There's... Okay. How about this? I put the Internet tab on top of Blender. Just have Blender go back to its regular size. And then try to get this guy in a corner. Move this over there. We're going to stretch it a bit. I know y'all aren't going to be able to see much on Blender, which is going to be a little sad. I want to make sure y'all can also read. That way I can show y'all what's going on. Okay. Here we go. So, top bar at the very top, talking about this section right here. Then we have the areas, which is from here over, back over here, that's hidden behind this guy, which you can see right here. It's going to be from that corner to this corner, everything in green. Then we have the status bar, which is where I saw this. It's the red. Okay. Keyboard shortcuts. Blender makes heavy use of keyboard shortcuts to speed up the work. This can be customized in the key map editor. I have no clue what that is. We'll learn about that in the future. Blender allows for most of its interface colors to be changed to suit the need of the user. If you find those colors... Okay. You're probably not going to mess with that. Wait, there was a previous section? Okay, so Windows system was just the name of the this category. Since we read through that, now we can do splash screen. When starting Blender, the splash screen appears in the center of the window. It contains options to create new projects or open recent ones. Yeah, I already closed that out. We'll mess with that next time. Top bar. This section. Oh, you can open the splash screen? How do you open the splash screen? Okay. We need to go backwards. Now that I know that I can reopen the splash screen. Can I move the splash screen? Yes, I can. Okay, let's go back down here. I'm gonna need to go back through all that. Okay. Click. Okay. Can we start a new one from here? Last time I tried 2D animation, I think. And I was failing at it. Because I had no idea what I'm doing. That's why we're going to this tutorial. That way I can get an idea of what I'm doing. uh. Okay. Now let's continue. We have the splash screen. To close splash screen, okay, we already did that. I'll press escape. So if I press escape, it would close this screen right here out. Revealing the default screen to reopen. I already reopened it. That's what this one is. Is there a way to lock this here? Uh... No, I don't see a way to pin it here. Okay. The upper part of the splash screen contains the splash image with the Blender version to the top right. The interactive region is the bottom half of the splash screen. Oh, okay, they're talking about from this corner to this corner. This is the interactive area. While this is just the image. Start a new project based on template. So that is new file. Okay, this section. You got your, oh, you also have your recent files, which is your most recently opened Blender files. Oh no, that's the second video. That's the shame. We're probably not gonna visit that back. Honestly, because once I actually learn the basics of Blender, we are going to continue from there. Let's not go backwards. Plus, this is knowledge. Every wizard needs to study. That's the basics of wizard's magic. Is knowledge. Which you are gaining right now. Okay. Most recently opened. We covered that. So open allows opening an existing blend file. Oh, okay. This one right here. Then we got recover from last session. What is quit blend? That's background blend. I don't remember a quit blend. Especially since the only thing I've actually done on Blender is this background blend. Which again, we're probably not going to visit ever again. Why? Because shame. Okay, what's new? And donate to Blender. Okay, since we finished covering that, we can now go to the top bar. And we can come here. Oh, okay, I already clicked it off. Okay. Top bar. We already talked about that section. We already talked about the splash screen here. And then about Blender. Wait, there's an about Blender button somewhere? Oh, right here. Okay, so we're talking about this right here. Splash screen, about Blender, install application template, and then system. How many layers are there in here? Well, my cap keeps disappearing behind my other tab. Okay. Actually, I'm going to see if I can't resize Blender. That way I can actually have the two screens side by side. Okay. There we go. Now I'm mostly out of the way of the two. Okay, let me go back. Okay. So with this, holy, this section's squished. Well, we shouldn't need that section for now. Or at least, not at this exact moment. We'll go back to that later. Like that. About Blender, which would open a menu displaying the following information about Blender. Version 5.0.1. Date, that's the day. Hash, branch, like hash, the get hash of the build, This can be useful to give to support personnel when... Okay. So that becomes helpful when you need help. I need help. Nah, my help can just be covered by research. Optional branch name. Okay. Window environment. I don't think I have a window environment. But we do have the donate, the what's new, credits, license, Blender store, and Blender website. Then after that, we have the install application template, which is, install a new application template. Pretty self-explanatory. Okay, then we have file menu, which will be this section. I need to scroll because, of course. Okay, first we got, no, I'm in the wrong one, file. We have new, which clears the current scene and loads the selected application template, which we have general 2D, sculpting, storyboard, VFX, and then video editing. Oh no, open back up. We'll go to the general. Don't save. That way we have a new cube. We'll work with that cube later. Then we have open, which opens a blend file. Out of curiosity, did that pop open? No, it didn't. You don't see what I'm seeing. Okay. Well, what opened was a Blender's version of files, I guess, which also contains the background blend I made during the second video. Let's not go back to that. Okay. Then we got Open Recent, which displays a list of most recently open blend files, which will be the background blend. Hovering over the arrow will show you a preview. We should see the preview. Now I'm curious, are y'all able to actually see what I'm seeing? Of course, it's probably a bad idea to start thinking of that now. Okay. The one view that you might be seeing in there is just me. Nope, y'all don't see it. Okay. And there's still a stream delay. Earlier I was trying to work with decreasing the stream delay. That way I can actually the moment I get a message from y'all, I can respond to it immediately and y'all can hear me immediately. That way if there's any issues I can fix it then and there, which I wasn't able to fix it. And currently I'm hearing myself speak to myself. Okay, what am I going to do now? Oh, back to Blender. Okay. I'm just gonna close that. Closing the YouTube of me watching my own self. Because that's how you can test stuff. Okay, back to this. Then we got Open Recent, which was here. Clear recent files. Or we could, I guess, search. Then we got Revert. It reopens the current file of its last saved version. So if the one I recently closed to open up this new one was actually saved, I probably could go back to it. And then we have Recover, which options recover a Blender file from the accidentally closed Blender or crash. Okay, let's actually go see what this quit blend is. Apparently it does not exist. Okay. I guess we can continue. So, in recovery, we have last session, and then we have autosave. Okay. So, last session would be like, if I've been working on this for a while, close it out, open it up. I could probably go back to it. While autosave is it saving with the. Y'all should know what autosave is. Hopefully. Please tell me you know what autosave is. There's no one here. So there's no one to tell me. Okay. This is going to be more of a see what I did in my past because I am talking to myself. Okay, let's continue. We have save, which self-explanatory, save as, which then you can actually rename it. And if you keep doing save as over and over again and keep changing the name, you'll have multiple copies. And we have save copy, which would be a duplicate of itself. So for this one, since it's unsaved, if I saved it, and I bet y'all can't see that, can y'all? The answer to that is no. I just clicked something which opened up the same thing earlier, back when I was looking at the open. No, wait, it was open recent. No? What did I click earlier? Was it open? Okay, I'm going to be hopping through loops real quick. Okay, what popped open was something similar to when I clicked open earlier. But this time I clicked save, which it's going to be, this one will be labeled as untitled blend. So we'll save the Blender file for now, which now we have it being labeled as untitled. Actually, let's rename it. Uh, well, since I'm a wizard, we'll name it Wizard Tower. For now. So now it's Wizard Tower. That way, if I were to save copy, and then go to open, I know none of y'all can see this. Y'all don't. There's only one copy of Wizard Tower here. Maybe I would have to. So what's the difference between save as and save copy? In a desired location, but do not make the saved file active. Oh! Okay, so if you have like two ideas, and the second one just popped out of your mind, out of there, but you want to continue with your first one, you could save copy, and that way you can come back later and go the different path. Words. Okay. I'll save as would be saving to certain locations. Okay. Well, since we got that taken care of, I'm going to go. Let's go back to looking at this. And then save incremental. Save the current Blender file with the numerically incremented number that does not overwrite any. Okay. I would recommend probably starting off with save as. That way you can name your file and choosing where it saves to. All save would be overwriting that save, keeping the name that it currently has. Save copy would be, I just explained it. And save incremental would be the like version histories if you want to save as different files. Okay, and that's all right here. Then we have link. Links data from external Blender file library to the current one. The editing of that data is only possible in the external library. Link and append are used to load in only selected parts of another file. So what does that do? Oh, that probably means you can select different files that you've done. Okay, I know you can't see it, but I'm in the Blender file. You know what? I could open that up. That way y'all could see it. Where is it? This guy? New source. Okay, and with this, we shall be viewing the Blender file view. There we go. We'll put it over here because I'm not going to be messing with the actual Blender until I'm out of that file. And since it is Blender. But we do need to change one thing, where the sources overlap. We'll put it right on top of Blender, but right behind everything else. That way, it stays behind everything. If it was on top of everything, then it would cover everything. I know y'all don't see what I'm doing, but that'll be another day. Okay. So what I did was I clicked on Untitled Blend, which was the first save of this guy, before I renamed it to Wizard Tower. So what we could do is add any of these objects, I guess. How about object? We get the cube. So if we do that, I'm not sure what we did. So let's see. Okay, wait, we can move it. There we go. So either this is the original cube and this is the added cube, or this is the added cube and this is the original cube. What is this? Does it tell me? Oh, wait. It's a light source. Yeah, can we move it? To be fair, I'm not sure exactly what it's doing. Okay, it's right there. What is this? Okay, this is the camera. Um, okay, we'll just continue. Link, we just did that. Append. Appends data from external blend file to the current one. New data is copied from the external file, completely unlinked from it. Oh, okay. No, I don't know what I'm thinking. The editing of that data is only possible in the external library. So does Link transfer its mesh data? Like, if you mess with it, does it transfer over? Or no? Pen data from external blend file to the current one. The new data is copied from the external file and completely unlinked from it. I have no clue. Tools from, and then data preview is tools from for managing data block previews, which I have no clue what that does. Then we got import, which there's a whole lot of options. Then we got export, which we could export to a whole lot of options. And then export all collections. Okay, Blender can use information stored in a variety of other format files, which are created by other graphic programs. And normally you can save your work in a blend file, which you can export some of, or all of your work to a format that can be processed by graphic programs. Okay. I think we all know what import and export means. If we don't know, we just read it. Okay. Export all collections. Invoke all configured exporters for all collections. Okay. No, I don't know. Um, I thought that maybe it could export to all of these all at once, but I honestly have no clue. Then we have external data, which is like the external data, like texture, images, and other resources, can be stored inside the blend file or as separate files. Blender keeps track of all unpacked resources via a relative or absolute path. Okay. Pack all current use external files into the blend file and automatically pack any files are added later. Will only stop the automatic packing for new files. It won't unpack existing ones. Okay. Then we have pack resources, unpack resources, which would be putting them all into this file, and then I guess taking them out of this file, while still being able to access those files. It's like the difference between a internal hard drive and an external hard drive. If you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, I'm sorry. Uh, oh, better idea. Internal and external power bank. No, terrible analogy because external charges the internal. Uh, um, let's see. I can only think of the hard drive one. Same example right now. Okay, so what it's saying is internal would be saved into that file, while external would be saved, we'll say beside the file. You could mess with external files, but you would have to go into Blender to actually mess with internal files. So you could accidentally delete an external file and then Blender just doesn't have that file anymore to put into the file, this file. So like texture images, that could be inside Wizard Tower, for example. And then when I close Wizard Tower, I would have to reopen Blender to get access back to that texture file. Just to say that this is all what I think. I don't know for a fact because we're both reading the same thing. This is my interpretation. Okay, and then external, you could access that texture image without reopening Blender, I believe. Don't quote me. Okay, so that's the external pack and unpack. Then we have pack linked libraries. Are linked from an external blend file into a kernel one. I have no clue what this means. I was just reading this. So pack data blocks are linked from an external blend file into the current one. And export previously packed data blocks back to external blend files. Existing blend files are overwritten. Bunch of technical terms that is starting to fry my brain. Let's continue. Okay, then we have make paths relative, make all paths to external files relative to the current blend file. What does that mean? There's reference external images or other linked blend files. A path tells Blender where to look for these files. If external files are moved, the blend file that references them will not look right. When you specify one of these external files, the default option is to make path relative. Blender stores the partial path evaluated relative to the directory location of the referencing blend file. This choice helps when you need to reorganize folders or move your files. With a relative path, you can move the blend file to a new location provided the externally linked files are moved along with it. For example, you could send someone a folder that contains a blend file and a subfolder or external images that it references. When relative paths are supported, File Browser provides a relative path checkbox. When entering the path into a text, use / to make it so. Bunch of fancy words. But I think it will be... Let's click open. We'll not save that for now. Like this. Yes, I play Call of Duty. Yes, you don't know what that is. Most of you. And yes, I have Steam VR. We'll get back to that at some point. Yes, I plan to play games and stream it. Not right now. And yes, I have another phone. Okay. To the main thing. I forgot what I was gonna say. I lost my track. Okay. Okay, relative. Let's say this. Let's say Wizard Tower wants something from... We'll say it wants something from inside here. Oh shit, I closed it. And let's say if I move that object. Relative would, as long as the object is still within a relatively same location, it can find it, I believe. Well, if it wasn't relative, it has to follow the exact path. So, for most computers, they have a C, stating that that's their hard drive that everything's saved on. And then after that is probably user, because that's where everything is saved to. And then it directs, it is that direct user. So C user, the name of the user. So for me, it would be C users, my name. And then from there, it follows more paths until it gets to that exact file. For those who've gone into the File Explorer, know what I'm talking about. For those who haven't, I would tell you to probably check your File Explorer if you're ever on computer. That way you can manage what's in there. It does get complicated once you get far enough. Okay, wait, back to the main thing. Learning about everything. Okay. And then we have... Are we still in here? We're still in the file section? I'm going slow, man. Okay. Make paths relative, which we've been covering all that. Make paths absolute. Okay, that's what I was talking about. This is the absolute section, meaning it has to follow from which hard drive to which folder. And it has to follow that exact path to be able to find the file. While relative, as long as it knows what the file was named, I guess, it might be able to find it. Not too sure. That's my guess. Okay. Then we got report missing files, which this option is useful to check if there are links to unpacked files that no longer exist. We'll click it, see what it does. After selecting this option, a warning message will appear in the info editor's header. What's an info editor? If no warning is shown, there are no missing external files. Well, I don't see anything. That's because this is new and it shouldn't be missing any files. And then we have find missing files. The last section on here. In case you have broken links in a blend file, which would probably be by moving around files and then being absolute. It might be easier to find them if they're relative. I'm not sure why you would ever use absolute. I bet whoever watches this and knows Blender would probably be able to explain it. Yay. Okay. In case you have broken links in a blend file, this can help you fix the problem. A file browser will show up. Select desired directory or file within that directory. Search your and a search will be performed in it. I'm gonna have to read that because I didn't understand a single word. Okay. So it's like selecting a file. Not file. Folder. Have I been saying file for folders? Oh no. How much of my explanation is going up in smoke because I've been saying the wrong word? Words are important. The right word is especially important. Okay. So if you change which folder or file is in, that would mess up the absolute path. Maybe the relative path too. I don't know. I really don't know. It's not like I know what's going on. Okay. In case you have broken links. Okay. And search will be performed in it. Back to explaining this. So, you open up File Browser. Or File You click this thing. Pops up this guy. Yes, I have multiple copies of me. I use VWord Studio. Getting off topic, my bad. Okay. I'll explain that later on when I... You know this isn't the final look, right? This is just to get started. Okay. So, what we got is folders and files. Let's say this. This is the directory. Just let's say I wanna click this one, and then click Find Missing Files. it would find it within the file of Call of Duty. Which, since there are no missing files, nothing should happen. But if there was, it would look there to see if it can find it. If not, then you can go through other files, or just search straight from the get-go. Okay. Cursively in all contained directories, every missing file found in the search will be recovered. Those recoveries will be done as absolute paths. So if you want to have relative paths, you will need to select make paths relative. So when it does find the file, it will follow the hard drive folder file. Since everything seems to be a folder until you get to the file itself. Then we got cleanup, which you can purge unused data or manage unused data. I clicked something. Oh wait, can y'all see this? How much of what I'm seeing can y'all see? And y'all see duplicates. What the? Have y'all been seeing duplicates the entire time? I only have one screen, so I can't see everything. Ah, too many tabs. Okay. Yeah, and y'all can't see that. What if I close it? Oh, shoot, y'all been seeing an overlap? My bad. Is there a way to hide this when it's not? Wait. I might be able to. There we go. So, if I did that correctly, then if I go here, we'll do open. Do y'all see that? Yes, y'all do. If I close it, it disappears. Now, what about if I save as? Do y'all see that one? Yes, I do. Okay. Experimentation. We have now succeeded on making that disappear. I am sorry for covering most of that. Most of y'all's Blender view with another Blender view. Didn't realize it was doing that. This is part of learning the process. Okay. Okay, so where did I leave off? Cleanup. So we have cleanup. We'll click Purge Unused Data, which would opens a dialog to remove unused data blocks from both current Blender file or any linked data, which cannot be undone. See the outliner for more information. This, do y'all see this? Do y'all see what I just popped open? I know, I'm going back and forth. Y'all do, okay, that's good. We're gonna click cancel, because I'm not about to delete anything. Sorry, I keep opening and closing the wrong tabs. Then we got manage unused data, which I opened earlier, but I'm not sure if y'all saw. No, y'all don't see it. Okay. It's just another Blender thing where it shows me two different folders. One for images, one for materials. In images, there is a render result, and in materials, there is a dot stroke. I have no idea what those are, and I don't want to purge them. So we'll just close that. I'll cover that next time, because that requires me adding more things to the screen, which once I get more screens to actually mess with, like a monitor, I'll just show you the entire monitor. This one I'm currently showing you direct windows. That means if I open a third one, y'all don't see it unless it's one I've already named. Like, don't save. Like this one. This one happens to be a window that I've already put in the stream, so y'all can see it. When I close it out, it disappears because I just changed settings to where it does disappear. Because before it, y'all know what happened before. And then I did the same thing to this. That way y'all can actually see what I'm doing here. And then let's go back to this. We have defaults. Save startup file and then load factory settings. So defaults manages the startup file, which is used to store the default scene, workspace, and interface displays when creating a new file. Initially, this contains startup scene, including with Blender. This can be replaced by your own customized setup. Does that mean that if I save it right now, it would every new file, every startup file would start with this? Okay. So, maybe. I forgot what I was doing. Okay. Initially, this contains startup scene included with Blend. Oh, wait. I think I just read that. Save startup file. Saves the current Blender file as a startup file. Load factory settings. Restores the... We all know what factory settings are, right? Okay, for those who don't. If you were to reset your phone, remember the first day you got that phone where there was nothing on it, where you had to input your Google account or something like that, and set up with what apps you want and all that, and transfer files from your old phone to your new phone and all that. That base where you first started everything, that's factory settings. So load factory settings would be loading Blender back to the original startup instead of the startup that you saved previously. So let's say you saved two squares, two cubes as your starter file. By the way, I don't know if this is actually true, especially since I haven't messed with it yet. This is what I think, my interpretation, until it's actually done. So you save starter file of two cubes. Whenever you load in, and it's a new file, without clicking new file, they'll start up with two cubes every time. Load factory settings would reset the settings to where you start up with one cube every time. If that makes sense. If not, we can review this later on. Just comment in the chat. I will look at them. Okay, then we have load factory Blender settings. Wait, there's more options? I don't have these two options. Oh wait, when an application this is why you can't skip steps. Otherwise, you will be missing information. Like this right here. I was starting to complain that I don't have these two options because I missed the step of reading the words beforehand. When an application template is in use, which I don't have one, the following operations are shown. Since I don't have one, I don't have these options. Which would explain why I don't have these options. Okay, load factory Blender settings and load factory application template name settings. And then we have quit, which we all know what quit does. Close the Blender, current scene is saved to a file called quit. That's what quit Blender is? So the current scene is saved to a file called quit Blender in Blender's temporary directory, which can be found on the file's path tab of the preferences. That explains a whole lot. Whew. Sorry, I need to yawn. Couldn't control it. So yeah. And I think that's where I'll stop right now. I'll create a part 2 for this later on. So thank you for joining me. We will go through the other options and like the edit menu, render menu, window menu, and the help menu. Especially since I needed help. And then continue on until we're done with the tutorial. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.